Hi, this is Mia. Get real. I just waited so long for my computer to work, and it's frustrating me so badly. This is Sunday, 10/21/18. I had to look. I just wrote the date on something. I wanted to just start by saying that I'm doing a lot of soul searching on this dating app. I don't use apps really. This dating website experiment. So it's been, now that it's Sunday, it's been about exactly a month, or like 4 weeks, and today. I have yet to meet any of these guys in person. I had made plans to meet a lot of guys. Some of them I dumped because something didn't feel right about them. Even like I was like drooling over these people, and one I made a super, super deep connection with, but I felt it's their own privacy. I felt they were trying to stay hidden on their online, but this one certain website, it puts in the order of who's online and like 1 hour, 2 hours, and it would show them as hidden, but it would embed it in between. There's some like a glitch in the system. Good. Anyways, who cares? Whatever happened, I cried about it. I prayed about it. So the soul searching for me, I'm getting really ticked off. Reading, okay, sex, love, kissing, holding hands. People said they went like 7 years with their boyfriend. They were Christians and they didn't even hug each other. And they had like one peck on the cheek after they were engaged. Like, I don't know if God made us to be so distant. That's amazing. I would have been like, my body probably would have exploded if I was with some dude for 7 years and didn't even like hold their hand or anything. Like, maybe if you're young, you never did that with anybody, you wouldn't have that. But even friends and relatives at least hug and kiss and hold hands, and kids sit on people's laps. Like, people are still like touching. They're not necessarily having sex or swapping spit. So I'm reading even these things people say, where does it say in the Bible, or what about this story, this story, and this story? These people weren't married, and this and this and this, and people, like, no one even brought up what I bring up. David had a whole bunch of wives, a whole bunch of adultery, a whole bunch of sleeping with other men's wife, and having all these children, and having all these women in different countries, or whatever you called it back then. And all these prophets had talk about, oh, they went into the tent of this wife, they went into the tent of this wife, and then this dude had a baby with his handmaiden, and like, it's like there's the story of the girls who had sex with their dad because they fled their land, and they got their dad drunk and raped him. One day, one girl, and the next day, the younger sister, and they're both walking around freaking pregnant, 9 months pregnant, and this dude's, I always imagine living in a tent, being like, looking at it. This is disgusting. I do not. But I would imagine this guy looking at his daughter's bellies getting big at the same time and wondering, how many months ago did they make me drink all that liquor? And I was thinking, man, I feel good the next day. Like, I just feel all the stress leave my body. Like, I don't know, like, chafing. Like, we're the only ones here. We're hiding. But all this stuff is like these individual, like, even like freaking Ruth, who was the ancestor to Jesus, had to go into getting in bed with Boaz. There's not enough room in the Bible to explain any of these stories, and about when you wash yourself and put on your best perfume, your best clothes, and do your hair so beautifully, and get in bed with a guy who's eaten and drunk, or drunk for the night, and curl up, and he's like, I reread Ruth so many times. It's like, don't leave yet. Leave right before sunlight. Like, stay in my bed. Don't leave until sunlight, or right before sunlight, but don't let my servants see you, because it's going to look weird, and take some food when you leave. So it's basically like, people talk about prostitution and illegal and sex, and women using men, but freaking Naomi was listening to God and needed to keep their family line going, and they needed it. Men for the land. They were using a man for the land to get there, because all the husbands and her sons died. Naomi's the old lady, and Ruth refused to leave her side. The other lady would have starved to death if she hadn't had Ruth glean fields. So basically, Ruth, this beautiful young lady, like they say that. And Boaz, the older guy, even said, "Why are you with me? You could have a man your own age." And then they tried to pawn her off to one of Naomi's relatives, or Naomi's husband's relatives, who already had a bunch of wives. And yeah, during the times, that was not questionable. And then people are like, adultery, masturbation, this and this. And they're like, yeah, this is what it is in context. And you see like half of a Bible scripture, or someone misquoting a Bible scripture, and then you see a bunch of man-made judgmental words. I personally think that I could be wrong with my opinion, because I don't really have an opinion. So don't take what I say, because if you do something and it causes you to get HIV, or causes you to get a pregnancy that you weren't wanting right now, or if you're going to get ready to do something in your life, some kind of career or something, don't get me wrong. I feel like any of these people, these big companies that will judge and preach a certain thing without getting the full biblical background. And I think the first thing they should say is, you talk to your God about what's going on with your questions, and you pray and meditate, and you feel that answer, and you be led to the scriptures, and you be led, like, almost 100% of the time, worse in church or with other spiritual people, almost 100% of the time, I pray and meditate about something, and then somebody tells me the complete opposite of what I revealed. I don't know if that makes sense. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's a pastor or preacher. It doesn't matter if it's an award-winning bookseller in the church. It doesn't matter if it's someone from my recovery meetings. It doesn't matter if it's my child who's very logical. Almost 100% of the time, the stuff is... this is really heavy. I don't know why. It's the opposite of what I feel my higher powers told me to do. It's 12 o'clock, I gotta go. My grandma was a Methodist. Everyone was very religious, so-called, go to church, outward apparent of religion. She had relations with 2 different men at 2 different times. She had relations maybe with more men, but she wasn't ever married. She was married to one time. My mom's dad had a bunch of women pregnant at the same time, and he's either married or shacking up with one lady, Mildred, and my grandma was screwing this guy, and then he was screwing everybody else, and there was all these kids, and if it wasn't for that sex, whether it was once or more than once, I wouldn't be here. My kids wouldn't be here. My kids' cousins wouldn't be here. My cousins' kids wouldn't be here. That was the first one, me and my brother. And then 8 years later or whatever, then Debbie was born, Deborah, and some dude, somebody, mom says it was one guy, my mom said, or grandma said it was one dude and my mom showed me a picture in the photo album and said, no, I think this dude is Debbie's dad. So who knows how many people grandma was screwing. Like, she's only human. And she may have been thinking like me when I was under 21, that if I have sex with somebody, it's going to be my boyfriend. But it was a drunken one-night stand that I never, if you leave a phone number, they never called. And if you saw these guys at a party, they were off chasing the next chick. And like someone were like hippie kind of like, hey, nice to see you, man. It never turned into like, I'm gonna give you a call this weekend. I am soul searching, so I'm in the process of soul searching. I feel really overwhelmed, and when I went to my I felt liberated in 2016 when I made a decision to remove toxic people from my life forever. if possible, like for just, and God will tell me if I need to talk to these people and not plan it in my own human mind. God led me to say that I was like Venus, the girl, the woman, who's very voluptuous and sexual and not monogamous. And I've only studied, it went through my mind through prayer and meditation. That's all that went through my mind for a few months. And healing from the backlash of removing toxic and narcissistic abusive people from my life, they broke down my boundaries and started getting into my life again. I got obsessed with Mount Everest, climbing Mount Everest, reading and watching about Everest and buying a book from the library, which I rarely do because the stuff is still our library, sorry. Goodwill, everything is so expensive. I ended up with, having this Venus, like you're connecting with guys. I was connecting with men. I wasn't dating them. I wasn't having sex with them. Well, most of them. And they've come and go. I felt led as a loving child of God to elaborate on that. And then all the friends and all the men disappeared, and the holidays came, the first holidays after going no contact, which starts in October with my birthday, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and so on. And it led to just this depressing darkness, which I used to talk to these relatives, even though it's like, oh, better to be abused than be alone, right? But then it turned into, no, you better be alone than be abused. So I lost track of everyone. I had to keep working and getting extra jobs for 2016, 2017, 2018. And that's where I am, 2018. So I'm having these guys try to act like they like me and that they want to go out with me, and they're not being upfront online that they're looking for hookups or that they're just looking for sex. And I'm like pulled between the judgmental Christians saying, you don't even think about it, to what does God say, to God, please open the right doors and close the wrong doors. Am I going to sit here and think someone's going to date me and not even try to kiss me and keep in touch on the phone and giggle and laugh and wish each other happy, good morning, good night, and like play this game and stay in prayer and meditation and let these guys be patient. If I say, oh, I don't want to have sex, you better just dump me and find someone because I want to be virgin. Like I never got this point because the guys you think that they like you, they're right before, like I'm getting dressed to get ready to meet them, and they're just like, I just want sex. And you're just like, wow, like you got me an emotional attachment with you, and then now these guys that just want hookups, a few of them wrote me messages or something intrigued me about them, and they're like opening up like these younger guys, they're like opening up on an intellectual level. They're being super sensitive, and now they could be like, I'm gonna get this old desperate black chick in my bed just so I could be like, wham bam, thank you, man. Like they could be like, but it's like they seem like on a different plane of intellect and caring and honesty about non-monogamy and hookups. And you almost wonder, like, all the guys that this are like looking to try to see if they could date someone, not one of them that I plan to go out with has responded or followed through. And more than once I've been sitting here getting dressed and getting my makeup done and telling them where I want to meet, and that not one of them, like, or at least narrowing it down to a couple of places, and then these guys have not met. I gotta be to work in 24 minutes. I'm gonna tell this one guy my number, and I don't want to have sex with him. I'm scared, and the reason I'm saying this is because there's a lot of shame with the religion, and there's a lot of diseases, and there's a lot of Let's refresh this. I'm not gonna. There's a lot of guilt tripping and hypocrisy and shame, even from my past. No one told me as a kid to remain a virgin until marriage. Like, nobody, not one person said that to me. Not one person. And I was in church. I'm willing to explore. I'm going to say I'm willing to explore. He was talking about touch. I'm willing to explore, honestly. Still undecided. Undecided. I don't always. This is like a total yin and yang. Okay, this is this young guy. So another young guy is like, he's like, oh, why you were so beautiful? Why hasn't anyone asked you out? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And he was like, I'll ask you out. And I go, dude, you're like 28 and I'm 40. Well, at the time, last week, 2 weeks ago, I was 41. And he's like, I go, are you looking for a hookup? And he's like, hookup? No, LOL. And then I'm like, I'm not looking for a hookup. And that, I don't know what happened. The conversation ended, but we didn't delete each other. So I almost feel like saying, look, bro, let's let's meet somewhere public. Keep your hands to yourself and just see what happens. Like, first 5 minutes, like, because these guys who are my age, they seem really ignorant. Their playfulness is more like immaturity. It's like their playful banter seems like immaturity. And maybe I'm getting a wool pull over my eyes with these younger guys that they're having intelligent conversations, even if they're in their late 30s. And I'm just like so shocked. Like, I read about this and people called me a cougar a few years ago. I read about the older women enjoying these intelligent conversations with these 20-something-year-olds. And a lot of these guys are college educated. They have the internet. Like, I had the internet all my life, but they have that easy Google search. I gotta go to work, guys. They have this. Ignorance is an excuse. You have the ability to, I mean, some people don't have it. You have the ability to have the knowledge, politics, all this at your fingertips. You have the ability to use the internet to, that's a funny picture, I don't like it. Some guys put some nasty, uncute pictures up. Um, I almost feel like I would have better luck with someone, even if they said short term hookup or non-monogamy, then they say somewhere sensitive over here that they're looking for this intelligent and beautiful woman who's beautiful inside and out, and someone that I can, like, someone like cuddle with multiple times a week, like all this stuff. You almost think like that would make a better relationship. But then again, if you go out to someone and then they got like their zip codes, they have different zip codes where they have a different chick in each zip code, and you might end up coming and surprising them and they're in bed with having a threesome. Like, you're like freaked out about that. Or they could just be like super desperate, like, come on, let's reel this lady in. I just want to put my thing somewhere, some hole, some opening. This is really raunchy. But I was just guilty of promiscuity when I was under 21, and then I got married at 21, and I had a really crazy sex life, and I never was really a sober person like I have now. And being in recovery, it doesn't just mean you are substance free one day. It means that whole lifestyle was circled around substance use and alcohol use and tobacco use and even coffee, like everything. I had to get something. I'm going to read you this and take a, like, literally 3-minute shower, throw my clothes on, and get the heck out of here because that's all the time I have. This was written, I took a piece of paper to work yesterday I said, you need to write this stuff down. And I felt like God was saying, people are saying, no, 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 don't do this, don't do this. Don't talk to these people, dump these people, block these people, break up with this guy. And I felt like God's like, these people are not harmful. These people like you a lot. These people sound creepy. Are they, like, people are wondering why is this, like, cutie, blue-eyed guy, like, lusting after you and keeping you up all night trying to get you to hang out with him. Like, when I left work yesterday, the thought was like, these people are jealous. Either they're with some nasty jerk-off of a husband, or they're decided to give up dating, but they didn't really, but they just hadn't had anyone ask them, so they're not having their phone ringing off the hook 24 hours a day with, they are not willing to put themselves out there and do this, but I'm kind of, like, goofy, and I get all, like, funny with people, but I also overwhelm people, or I think too much. But my worst now has been the 40 or 50-something year olds have been flaking out. They've been dishonest. It's like, are you trying to lust after some 21-year-old and you can, like, try to act like you're chivalrous and macho and wealthy and you're just freaking catfishing? Like, it's not working on me. I don't know what it is. There's some of these people are, like, super ignorant, and I'm like, is it because you grew up sheltered and just, like, did this macho thing, let's go do sports stuff, let's wear sweatpants and go to the gym 3 times a week, and, like, just have some chicks say, yeah, look at him, he has a home, a job, and he goes to the gym, like, what a stud. Like, I'm like, I need more. I don't need more. But when they start messing with me and calling me names, like, that's red flag, they're like, I don't like you. Like, I don't have anything intelligent to talk to you about, and you're so ignorant that you don't realize that I'm a person that demands respect. And, like, some people give up that respect, but I learned to respect myself. Like, that respect is just being treated like a human, not being treated like a sex doll. Alright, since I have to go in 5 minutes, and I still take a shower, 10/20/2018. And I'm going to use the first letter of these people's names, or their usernames. Okay, Cupid matches. Okay, I'm the mouse. Who I like is Cheese. He runs from me. So far, who chases me is the cat, or worse, Pepe Le Pew. Who I heard was married to someone else. Not sure. I saw the episode with his skunk. I'm not sure I saw the episode with his skunk wife and kids. Why would I be like that? Why would I chase the cat? I used to have that record on 45. I swore someone stole it from my house. I definitely had it since I left my ex-husband. I'm really mad. Or I got it after I left him. Somebody stole that record, and I'm really mad. I might have found it. I don't know what happened to my 45s. Up all night because of R, whose version of flirting is phone sex and seductive text. I had a 12-hour relationship with R, saying he's not for me, I'm not for him, breaking it off with him at least 3 times, with him continuing to ask if I was mad at him, and repeating apologies in between asking scratch, begging me to come over to cuddle, and asking what I was wearing. This makes me so emotional. Sorry, I'm like, people told me I'm so wrong. And I started meeting people on the internet in the 90s, and I went home with a lot of guys, and I traveled around the country and picked up hitchhikers. I don't feel invincible. But my daughter blames it on loving everybody, wanting to help everybody. Continuing to ask if I was mad at him, and repeating apologies in between, asking scratch, begging me to come over to cuddle, and asking what I was wearing. I was woken frequently. My eyes were all glazed over, throat scratchy, and I blocked him via text, cut him off, okay Cupid, then after he called, had to block him from calls, no message. He is local, legit, for real, forget, keep Portland weird. Weird I can handle. Kid said some people need to be put somewhere. I may still be talking to R if he didn't wake me up so much. I really have to get out of here. I didn't take a shower yesterday, so I have to, like, leave. Number 2, F, comma. 1 sentence, 2 pics, seeks hookup. I didn't pass because I was mesmerized by him. He's alluring and mysterious. He disappears and reappears. I thought he unliked me because I'm Christian, but then he reappeared. Short one-word, one-liner responses. Was he looking for sex? Felt the need to pray for him early on. He was sucking me in by doing nothing, like the Death Star tractor beam. Last night, he started a sentence, the longest ever. My GF, ... My girlfriend. My GF, ... More, I didn't read the sentence. Oh, still beautiful. Why do you say you're straight male single? Heartbreak. So interested. I couldn't get myself to break away. Yet. To be continued. Like Blank and Ray on The Last Jedi. I forget the guy's name. Han Solo's son and Ray on The Last Jedi. J. My planned date fizzled into an abyss of emptiness after my car ride from Winco grocery store parking lot to almost in the shower turned into a one-sided sleazy text countered by my good girl S word. Where is this going? Okay, me. Are you looking to hang out or for a hookup? Simple, non-verbatim answer. 1. I was hoping for. So 1, hang out, hoping for 2 to happen, hoping for a hookup to happen. Me, not my style. Made YouTube videos, doing makeup after shower, then went back to my original plan, go to my support group meeting, then home to watch Le Club, which graphically in Spanish talked about these priests put in a home and child sex abuse in the church. Wow. Fell asleep with 23 minutes left of movie until Kid walked, woke me, and R contacted me. He was my rebound after I decided to thank Jay for being honest. Response. I said, thank you for being honest, even though he wasn't honest up front, and he said he's disappointed. Me, nothing, my thoughts. I'm disappointed that we texted all week with you texting 6:30 a.m. one day, and you were looking only, period, to, period, get, period, laid, period, Friday, question mark. After finding all about my loneliness as an abandoned single mother, I felt so cheap and disrespected. And J profile, single, straight, Christian, short and long-term dating, and friends. Just add hookup, man. J. This is another J. Front porch pic got me. Not the dude. Z. Age 33. New, divorced. Was to set a date for me today or Sunday. No contact. Said he would early week. I ran out of paper, guys. Young dude. Not hook. Okay, young dude. Not hook up. LOL. First to ask me out. It didn't happen. Tall dude A. Laughed at me. Didn't like my old lady pic with a bunny. I get it. I'm not 20. I had a picture of me during September, where I was up and working every day and frazzled and woke up and addicted to this website, sleeping 4 hours a night, having spiritual dreams, like spiritual uneasiness, and I looked like crap. And I was in a dark room, demanding my daughter take my picture, and the picture was horrible, and I had circles under my eyes because she took it from low instead of high, and I was in a dark room. I had slept. I hadn't eaten. Probably eating salty stuff. Probably had no makeup on. I sent the picture. He didn't respond. The next day he said good morning, and that's it. Time to go to work immediately.